Hey, welcome back. I'm Zach, and this is Job Interview English. Tell your story clearly. If this helps you, hit subscribe so you don't miss new episodes and practice moments.
I'm Emily. Today we keep things simple and real. We'll share true interview stories, model clear answers, and explain useful words so you feel prepared, confident, and natural when someone says, "Tell me about yourself."
Our goal is 3 parts. Be concise, sound friendly, and show results. Concise means short and clear. We'll guide your ears first, then your mouth, so speaking feels easier after listening with focus.
Quick story. In my first tech interview, I talked in circles for 2 minutes. The manager smiled kindly and said, "What did you actually do?" That day, I learned concise answers build trust.
We'll use STAR, a simple path. Situation, task, action, result. Situation is where and when. Task is your goal. Action is what you did. Result is the achievement, the useful change you created.
How to use this episode. Pause after a question. Note 3 key words, then try saying one short answer aloud. Don't memorize scripts. Just keep the shape. Beginning, action, result.
Connect your ideas with small bridges called connectors. First, because, so, then, finally. A connector is a linking word that guides the listener, like signposts on a road.
Keep your tone warm. A smile changes your voice. Breathe, sit tall, and speak slightly slower than usual. If you hear a follow-up, that means another question that digs deeper. Stay calm.
Quick recap. Tell one story, use STAR, add connectors, keep it concise, show a clear result. We'll model answers and explain key verbs like improved, led, solved, supported.
And we'll sprinkle small pronunciation tips without stopping the flow. By the end, you'll have a 60-second story you can adapt for different roles and companies.
Speaking of roles, I once said the company name wrong, twice. I slowed down, owned it, and moved on. Little stumbles are normal. Clarity and attitude matter more than perfection.
Ready? Tap subscribe if you haven't. Grab a note app and listen for phrases you like. Next, we'll build your 60-second story together, step by step.
All right, let's build a clean 60-second story using STAR. Situation, task, action, result. Think of it as a quick window into how you work. One story is enough if it's specific, shows your role, and ends with a clear result. I like to imagine a timer in my head and aim for friendly, confident, and simple language.
Here's mine from last spring. Situation. I worked at a small marketing firm, and one client's email newsletter was losing readers. Open rate fell from 28% to 18%. Task. I needed to stop the drop and lift the numbers fast before a seasonal sale. Action. I audited recent emails, spoke with sales and design to find the pain points, and simplified the subject lines to be clearer and shorter. I also A/B tested 2 designs, set a weekly check-in with the client, and created a simple checklist so the team followed the same steps. Result? In 4 weeks, open rate went back up to 27%, and clicks rose by 15%. The client renewed the contract, and my manager adopted the checklist for the whole team. For me, it showed communication, initiative, and follow-through, and I could explain exactly how it happened.
That was about a minute, and it felt natural. Quick word notes. Initiative means starting without being told. Follow-through means finishing what you start. And A/B test is simply comparing 2 versions to see which performs better. Notice the connectors you used. First, then, and result. They guide the listener like signposts.
If you're choosing details, pick one measurable result. A number, a time saved, a cost reduced. If you don't have numbers, describe the positive change, like fewer problems or happier clients. Keep verbs strong and active, simplified, tested, coordinated, delivered. Short pauses help your message land.
Let me share a quick tech support version. Situation: our help desk had a backlog on Monday. Task: reduce wait time before Friday. Action: I triaged tickets by urgency, wrote 2 template replies for common issues, and grouped similar problems for faster fixes. Result: we cleared the backlog by Thursday and cut average wait time from 3 days to 1.
And if you're a student or changing careers, use a class project or volunteer event. Situation: organizing a campus workshop with low sign-ups. Task: fill the seats. Action: partnered with the library, posted short reels, and offered a Q&A at the end. Result: room went from half empty to full, and we collected 50 emails. Transferable means the skill moves with you to a new job.
Timing helps. Around 15 seconds for situation and task together. 30 for the action, that's the heart, and 15 for the result. Breathe between parts. Use simple connectors. First, then, so, finally. If a detail doesn't support the result, save it for a follow-up question.
Quick recap. Choose one story, follow star, use active verbs, add one number, and keep a warm tone. I like to write 3 keywords on a sticky note: problem, action, result, and glance at it before the call. Ready to shape this into common interview answers next?
One last micro tip. If your story fits on a sticky note, it's probably clear enough for 60 seconds. Simple beats perfect. Let's dig into the big 3 interview questions: strengths, weaknesses, and achievements. The star shape still works here. A strength is something you do well again and again, even when things get busy. I like to tie a strength to one short story and one clear result.
My go-to strength is clarity under pressure. Last summer, our event livestream froze 10 minutes before a keynote. I stayed calm, split the team, and called it out simply. You handle the encoder, I'll switch to the backup feed. We were live 2 minutes later, and viewers barely noticed. The result taught me that steady voice and simple steps reduce panic.
Emily, how did you discover that strength? Was it feedback or a moment like that? I find strengths become real when someone else notices them and when they repeat across projects.
Pattern, exactly. After that event, my manager said, "Your calm made decisions easier." I wrote it down and watched for it in future projects. Quick word note. Pattern means a regular way something happens, like a rhythm you can see.
For me, a core strength is structured communication. In one role, our daily stand-ups kept running long. I proposed a 3-question limit and a 90-second cap per person. Meetings dropped from 25 minutes to 12, and blockers surfaced sooner. Concise means short but complete. No extra fluff.
Speaking of balance, let's talk weaknesses without drama. Choose something real but not critical to the job. Show what you changed. It's less about confession and more about growth. How you manage the risk. Mine used to be over-preparing. I would polish slides forever and delay sleep. It looked responsible, but it wasn't. Now I time box. 45 minutes to draft, 10 to edit, then I stop. The result? I deliver on time and keep energy for Q&A. Weakness here means an area you're improving with a plan.
I had the opposite, moving too fast. I told a recruiter, I sometimes jump into fixes before confirming the scope. Now I pause to write a 2-line summary, confirm with the stakeholder, then start. That tiny checkpoint cut rework by 1/3. Scope means what's included in the task. Stakeholder is the person affected.
Nice. That framing shows responsibility and progress. And the number, 1/3 less rework, makes it real. Numbers help hiring managers feel the impact, even if the number is small or simple.
Achievements time. I'll share one from product support. Tickets about one login error kept piling up. I mapped the pattern, partnered with engineering, and wrote a clearer message on the page. In a month, error tickets dropped 25%, and we saved 6 support hours per week. Small change, big effect.
How did you keep that answer under a minute? It had context, action, and result, but it still felt tight.
I used a quick rhythm. 15 seconds for the situation and task, 30 for the action, 15 for the result. I also used simple connectors. First, then, so, finally, and stopped as soon as the result landed. Silence helps the number breathe.
Tiny vocab boost. Deadline means the time something must be finished. Resolve means fix a problem. Impact means the effect or change you created. Keep these in your story toolbox for strength and achievement answers.
Quick recap. Choose one clear strength with proof. Share a honest weakness plus your plan, and highlight an achievement with a number. Use star to keep shape, and friendly connectors to guide the ear. Ready to try one live scenario next? Speaking of clear answers, connectors are like road signs. They show where your story goes next. I lean on simple ones. First, next, because, so, then, finally. For contrast, I switch to however or on the other hand. A connector is just a short linking word.
I learned this the hard way in an operations interview. My first answer was one long river. No turns, no signs. The manager looked tired. On the next question, I used gentle steps. First, our delivery time slipped. Because of a supplier issue, we missed 2 deadlines, so I grouped orders by size. Then we used a backup driver. As a result, delays dropped by 30%. It felt smoother, and his face changed. He could follow the path.
Quick pronunciation boost while we're here. Stress the action and the result and say connectors softly. Result gets stress on the second part. Result. Asked sounds like asked. Worked sounds like worked. Project as a noun is project. Stress means the word part you say a little stronger.
Another trick is chunking, speaking in small groups. Chunk means a small group of words that belong together. I pause after each chunk. First, we saw the drop, so we simplified the form. Finally, complaints fell. Those tiny pauses keep your message clear and your pace calm.
What about contrast words in tough moments? I once said, "We hit our target. However, the process was fragile." However signaled the risk. Then I added a fix, so we documented a backup checklist. That shift, problem, however, solution, helped the panel see judgment, not just numbers.
I also like whereas for comparisons. In a nonprofit interview, I said, "We had many clicks, whereas signups stayed flat." That word drew a clean line between good and bad. A tiny note. Keep whereas slow and clear. The 2 parts on each side should sound balanced.
For flow, I use one microformula in my head. First, because, so we, therefore, finally. I used it last month in a panel and felt the room relax. The cause and effect was obvious and I didn't rush. Therefore is like so, but a bit more formal.
Small sound tips. Link short words but land on keywords. Say so we smoothly but land on reduced errors. Keep endings clear. Asked, asked. Fixed, fixed. Planned, planned. Clear endings help managers hear what you actually did.
Quick recap. Choose 3 to 4 favorite connectors. Speak in chunks. Stress action and result. And keep word endings crisp. With those habits, your story sounds organized and confident, even under pressure. Ready to try them in a short role play next? Let's do a quick role play. I'm the interviewer. Question. Tell me about a time you solved a tough problem. Give me your natural first draft. The messy version is okay, and we'll clean it up together.
Okay, last year we had a busy week with a product launch and support was crazy. Emails, chats, calls at once, and I was helping marketing too because the landing page needed updates. I stayed late a few days, we tried a new tool but the login wasn't working, and I sent a message to the team channel about priorities. We synced the next morning and, yeah, it got better after we fixed a few things.
Good start, but I'm a little lost. There are 3 threads: launch, support, marketing, and no clear result. Also, few connectors, and synced is jargon. Let's pick one story, the support queue. Use simple signs. First, because, so, then, finally. Add one number, even small. Ready to try the same story? 1 minute, star style?
Sure. Situation. On Monday after our update, the support ticket queue doubled. Task. Reduce wait time before Friday's demo. Action. I triaged tickets by urgency, wrote 2 short templates for common issues, and ran a 10-minute huddle to share them. I also flagged a login bug to engineering with steps and a screen recording. Then I set hourly check-ins for day 1. Result? By Thursday, the backlog was cleared. Average wait time fell from 3 days to 24 hours, and the demo ran smoothly. The client thanked our team for fast, clear replies.
Nice. Follow-up. What would you do differently next time, especially if the queue grows overnight again?
I'd involve product earlier and create a 1-page playbook so new agents can jump in fast. I'd also block a backup hour on the engineering calendar after each release. Playbook means a simple guide with steps, roles, and links.
Recap. 1 story, clear connectors, strong verbs, 1 number, and a calm finish. I heard crisp endings, too. Fixed, planned, reduced. That clarity shows judgment. Okay, let's carry this energy into the final takeaways. Before we wrap, let's make a small practice plan you can actually do tomorrow. In 10 minutes, pick 1 story. Write 3 keywords: problem, action, result. Speak your 60-second version. Record and listen once. Swap 1 weak verb for a stronger one, like improved or reduced. That's it. Quick, focused, repeatable.
What helped me was a sticky note on my laptop. I'd write the company name and 1 sentence. They care about X, so my result Y matters. That line kept me on track. Tiny vocab note. Checkpoint means a short pause to confirm you're still going the right way.
Right before an interview, I do a 5-minute setup. Scan the job post, highlight 2 responsibilities, and match one of my stories to each. Then I remind myself of my numbers, even simple ones. If they ask a follow-up, I pause, breathe, and add 1 more action or detail.
Speaking of details, sound matters. I quietly rehearse the endings of key words: solved, planned, delivered, with the final sound clear. And I soften connectors so the action shines. First, then, so, finally. Those gentle signposts keep your answer smooth and easy to follow.
Nerves happen. If your mind goes blank, that means you suddenly forget. Ask for a moment, smile, and glance at your 3 key words. Then restart with a simple bridge. To summarize, or the key point is, that reset shows control, not weakness.
Quick recap of today. We shaped a 60-second star story, answered strengths, weaknesses, and achievements with proof, and used connectors plus clean pronunciation. The pattern is simple: problem, action, result, told with warm, steady energy. Keep the verbs active and the result visible.
Next steps. Save 3 star stories in your Notes app. 1 for teamwork, 1 for problem solving, 1 for ownership. Share them with a friend and trade short voice notes. We'll also put a one-page checklist in the description so you can review right before the call.
And celebrate small wins. If your answer felt clearer than last week, that's progress. Confidence grows from tiny repeats, not big speeches. Keep going. Your story is strong.
Thanks for spending time with us today. If this episode helped, tap subscribe and share it with one person who's preparing for an interview. Take care out there. You've got this.